to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Desiree, mom of 3 and the owner and maker behind The Handmade Mom, where I create mom and positivity focused items. This week we are doing a Mompreneur's Diaries. I feel like it's been a hot minute since we've done one, and I wanted to come on and just chat with you guys. I have quite a few things that I need to be working on, and one of them, which I'm going to be working on now, is a new bling item, which I'm super excited about. So far so good. I've started out, but it's these bling pens. So I am using these Inkjoy pens and I am rhinestoning them out. They're going to be test run at the gym and see how they do. So I am doing the gym colors, which are purple. And then I think I might order some of the iridescent color because I think those would be really pretty. And then go from there. I'm really excited. I really like how it turned out. So, I mean, so far it's not done, but yeah, this is what we're working on, is this, because I have a restock slash new products going out on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. Had to count my days. So I have this week to finish getting things done. I've got quite a few of the other things done. I finished my scrunchies earlier tonight, and so now we are on to these guys. So like I said, I'm just trial running these at the gym to see how they do, see how people kind of respond to them. So I'm not going to do too many, but I did want to have a few purple, and then like I said, maybe get the iridescent ones because that would go with the color scheme at the gym. So we're gonna be working on this and chatting. So today we're chatting about getting over the fear of just going for it and doing the thing. I feel like I have just recently gotten into this mode and this feeling of like, just go for it, just do it. Like, it's be all right, we'll figure it out, you know, what have you. But I wasn't always like that, and like even really recently I was not that way. I really struggled with just going for it, which is why it took me so long to really pursue my small business. It took me so long to start this channel. It took me so long to do so many other things throughout my life, and it was because I was afraid of just going for it, because I was afraid of not being successful. I was afraid of failing. I was afraid of not doing something well. So I feel like I'm now at more of a point where I am still cautious when I do things and I make decisions, and especially big ones, but I'm a little bit more of just like, go for it now. And I feel like that's been really helpful for me in growing my small business and me with motherhood as well. So I'm gonna go check on these dogs because I just heard the couch move and the kids are asleep. I don't want them waking up the kids. Hold on. There we go. It was not the dogs. It was my husband. So yeah, there was that. Anyways, what were we saying? Oh, I was saying how I feel like more recently I have been feeling more of like just going for it and just doing it, and you're figuring it out as we go, being a little bit more confident in those things. So I kind of wanted to talk about that transition and like what I think happened, how I did that, because I don't know, it's really interesting for me to be in this point now, because all the way up until recently, like very recently, and I just turned 29, so like for a very long time I was not this way, and I was very hesitant, very timid, very nervous, and just very cautious on a lot of things. So it's really interesting to be in this place now, so I thought I would sit down and chat with you guys about it. But first, let's start blinging and see if we can get some more of this done. get chatting. I'm gonna try to finish out this pen, because this is the first one, and we have a week when all of this stuff is supposed to be launched and ready to go. So I wanted to make more than just one. So I'm gonna try to keep working as we talk. But I wanted to start talking about kind of like, I guess we should start with where I started and kind of like what I was like. Because I think if I can paint that picture for you guys, then you guys would really be able to tell like that there's a difference between where I was versus where I am now. So like literally my entire life, I've always been just a very quiet, very shy, reserved, timid person. Like even like my parents still joke about when I was little, like little, I used to literally hide behind my mom's legs and I didn't smile. I didn't say anything to anybody. Like I was just very, very quiet and just very timid all of the time. So like it's literally been my whole life that I've been this way. And as I got older, like I did cheerleading throughout the years, and you know, that helped bring me out of my shell quite a bit, and I really enjoyed it, but I still was very timid. I still was very quiet and reserved. And then I got into high school, where my sophomore year, I joined the bowling team, and I actually opened up quite a bit with that. I was a lot more, not outgoing, but for lack of a better term, outgoing, and I, you know, wasn't so quiet, wasn't so reserved. I still definitely was, but in comparison to, you know, all the way up until then, much more open. So knowing that, you know, it pretty much stayed at that point from like the confidence that I gained through bowling, pretty much stayed there all throughout high school and all the way through college and like up to where I'm at now. So, you know, it hasn't been much of like a steady growth. I thought that was just going to be, you know, how I was for the rest of my life. And then the real thing that like kickstarted this whole mind shift, attitude shift, I don't know what you want to call it, but it was having kids, honestly. Once I had Lala, I feel like everything changed. I don't know if it was because I like would go into like mama bear mode or what, but I just was like, I don't know, something inside of me just switched, some kind of light bulb went off, I don't know. And I felt I felt a lot more confident in standing up for things, especially when it came to Lala. I felt more confident in, you know, holding my ground and saying what I thought and all of these things. And I was never that way. So really having kids is what kind of kickstarted that for me, which was really, really interesting, because throughout pretty much all of my pregnancy, I genuinely was worried that like I wasn't going to be able to handle, you know, when people gave unsolicited advice, or if someone disagreed with how I was parenting or what have you. Like I genuinely worried about all of those things very often. And once she was here, I don't know, just that all changed. So that was really what catapulted it. And then again, I've talked about this before, but Lala was a big reason why I really started to pursue the small business journey, because I didn't want to leave her. I wanted to be home with her, and I wanted to be able to see all the things that she was going to be going through, especially early on. And so that's what I started this for. And I feel like it really gave me that confidence and gave me that boost to be able to pursue this. I think once the twins got here though, it just really amplified it. And I don't know, maybe it's just because I've got the 3 kids now, and like I literally cannot be how I was before. I used to be, aside from very quiet, timid, and shy, I was very much a planner person. I, knew plans A, B, C, and D, and I had solutions for every possible scenario. I was always on time, all the things. Nope, not anymore. Not anymore. I'm lucky if I can show up somewhere like within 5 to 10 minutes of when we originally said we were gonna be there. So that's where we are at now. So I don't know if maybe it's just because, being a mom to 3 kids, and especially having twins, and when I had the twins, Lala wasn't even 2 yet, so I had all 3 kids that were 3 under 2, and it was just like, oof. It was rough. It was hard. So I don't know if because I went through that or what, or just because I had 2 more kids now and like that just mama bear feeling instinct kicked in even more. I have no flipping idea. But all I know is that once the twins got here, I feel like that feeling that I got when I had Lala, in this like all of a sudden burst of confidence, and like just the attitude of just go for it and do it, you'll figure it out, really came about after the twins were born. Now that I think about it, now that I say it like out loud too, it probably was a lot to do with having the 3 kids and having to just figure out how to do things. Like I had to figure out how was I going to care for 2 infants at the same time? How was I going to hold 2 babies at the same time? How was I going to take care of them and still give Lala attention? Like how was I going to do all these things? There's just this huge running list, right, that I had in my head of like how was I going to do that? And I literally had to just do it and figure it out as I was going. So maybe honestly that was probably a big part of it. Like saying it out loud now, I kind of can see that being a big factor for why I do that now with other things, small business, not just motherhood, but like small business and just personal life things. So maybe that's why, I don't know. But I'm honestly really grateful for it. I feel like I have done, obviously I've done things that I never would have done before when I was still timid, shy, reserved kid. Like I would have never gone on my local news station. I would have never started a YouTube channel. Like I would have never done any of those things, and I would not have ever probably pushed and pursued the small business like I do now. And now like I'm doing things with my small business, and I'm planning for things with my small business that like even when I first started I would have never done then. I will share with you guys a little bit later on in the year, but I am signing up for a market that is huge market, very expensive, and I'm going for it. Now this one was still a meticulous and thought out decision, but I wasn't as timid and as nervous to go for it. I just, after thinking through all the things and going through all the points about it, I just decided, you know what, let's just do it, let's just go for it, right? So you'll see more about that later. If you want to be notified when that video comes out, which I don't know when exactly, it's going to be later on down the line, like towards maybe the end of the year, maybe soon, mid-year, I'll give you guys kind of like an introduction on that. But anyways, if you want to be notified when that video comes out, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notifications so that way you can get notified about that one. But like when I first started my small business, I looked into this particular market and I shied away because it was such a high booth fee, and it was very intimidating. It's a multi-day event, and it was just something I was like, I don't think I could ever do that. what have you, and now here I am going for it and doing it. So I feel like that mind shift, that attitude shift when it comes to just going for things has been very, very helpful for me in growing my small business. Being able to just be willing to just do things and not let my overthinking kind of hold me back has allowed me to have a variety of opportunities that I would not have had prior to. I just feel like having this mindset shift, having this attitude shift, and being more willing to just go for it and do things has been exponentially helpful for my small business and helping to grow that. I'm doing other things that outside of this small business that I never would have thought that I would have done before. My husband and I are going to be working on something that I will be sharing with you guys here very soon, which I'm really, really excited about. But it's going to require a lot of, talking with other vendors, and it's going to be a lot of networking and putting ourselves out there and things like that, which prior to this time, like I said, would have never done that. So it's just wild to me that we are here at this point now, and that I've adopted this attitude about going for things, and it's been so helpful. Now I'm sure that a lot of you guys still may be feeling kind of nervous and timid, maybe afraid to kind of go for things because it's scary, because it's not known, because you are afraid of not succeeding at something. I just really want to encourage you to take small baby steps in going for things. Maybe if there's like a market out there that you've been eyeing and you wanted to try, but you've been kind of nervous to try it because of whatever reasons that you have, give it a shot. Just apply, right? You can always apply, and if you just decide after you apply that you just don't want to do it and you're not ready for it, you don't have to commit to it. You are not fully committed to a market until you pay your vendor fee. Now, I wouldn't suggest to apply to all these markets and then just back out and never say anything again all the time. But what I'm saying is, like, occasionally, like if you're like, okay, I've really been eyeing this one and I want to try it, go for it. A way to do a small just go for it thing is to just apply for the market, send in the pictures, fill out the application, put yourself out there and just see what happens. You never know what could happen unless you go for it. If you have been nervous about reaching out to boutiques and getting set up in some boutiques around your local area, just find one and reach out to the one, right? And then see from there how it goes, feel the process out, all of that stuff. And more than likely you'll find that it's really not as scary as you might feel or think that it is right now. I do want to stop and take a moment and just say that, like, any fears and hesitations that you guys may be having on things, whether it be your small business journey or your motherhood journey, like, know that those things are valid and it is okay to feel those things. But I want to try to help encourage you guys to not let that feeling take hold of you and hold you back from doing so many amazing things. Will everything that we do always turn out great? Will it always work out for the best? No, that's part of the journey and part of the process, right? But does that necessarily mean that it was a failure or that it was not successful? I don't think so. I would say you could look at it as a learning opportunity. Oh dang, this didn't work out. Or for example, we'll use the market, right? Like if you go for that market, you apply, you get in, great. You go, you set up, and you end up selling not very much at all. That's okay, right? It sucks. It's a bummer. But you learned something from that, right? Whether that be maybe you had a new display that you were testing out and you learned that you really liked that, or you didn't like that and you wanted to tweak this about it, whatever. You maybe learned about setting up at a market like this. Maybe you were in a different spot than what you normally are in. Like maybe you were in a corner spot and you got to try out some new setups for a corner spot. I would say that if something doesn't work out, it doesn't always automatically mean failure, unsuccessful, you're this, you're that, you're whatever. Like it doesn't mean that. It just means it just didn't work out. And that's part of it. If this small business journey was supposed to be, you know, smooth sailing and everything was going to work out great for everybody every time they did something and put themselves out there, then everybody would be running small businesses and everybody would have very huge successful small businesses. So that's not how this works, and that's okay, right? We take each experience, whether it's positive or negative, and we learn something from that, and then the next time we experience something similar, we already have some schema, some knowledge prior to that we can now use to help us throughout whatever situation or thing that we're going through. If you've been nervous to launch some new item that you've been really, really excited about, but you just don't know if people are gonna be excited about it too, or if anybody's gonna buy anything, like, just go for it. Just launch it and put it out there. People may not buy anything from this launch, and that's okay. You learn, what did you do? How did things go? What was the process like? All of that. And then you tweak and make adjustments for the next one. And each time you just make tweaks and adjustments until you find what works and what is getting sales and what is getting traffic and what is getting engagement. Now, I want to give a couple of motherhood examples as well, because I feel like this also has really, really applied to my motherhood journey. When it comes to taking the kids out and about on my own, I have been very, very nervous to do that because I am very much outnumbered. It's 3 of them versus 1 of me. So I was super duper nervous about how to even get them in and out of the car on my own. If we went to, say, like a store, like, how would I get them into the cart? How would I get them back into the car without leaving anybody on the side of the car while I'm buckling someone else in? Like, all these things, right? Like, how was I going to do that? And I've been very, very nervous and very, very scared to do that. The twins are 14 months now, and I just now started taking them places by myself. I know it may seem like you don't have to take them anywhere, you don't have to go places by yourself, blah, 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 which you're right, I don't, but I also am the type of person, and my kids are too, like, we can't stay cooped up in the house all day for extended periods of time, right? We need to get out, we need to go do stuff. Like, I start getting very, very irritable whenever we've been in the house for too long. That's usually when I start getting irritable. My husband knows, he's like, you need to go somewhere, you need to get out the house. So my kids are the same way. Like, my son loves to be very, very active, so does my oldest, and so getting out of the house and going places is really good for us. But we can't always go somewhere with my husband because he's working, or with our family because they have their own things that they're doing. So sometimes I might have to go somewhere by myself with my kids, and I want to be able to do those things. So I just recently started just going for it and just doing it and figuring it out as we were out and about, right? And I am finding that it's not as difficult as I thought it was going to be. It is difficult, let me tell you that. It is not easy because you have to constantly be thinking kind of a couple steps ahead. It is not as hard as I thought it was going to be. So now we are going to be able to go to more places. We're going to be able to do more things. We actually just got passes for the museum, and the kids are gonna be able to go and play and have fun, and I think it's gonna be great. They're gonna be able to learn, play, and explore all those wonderful things, and I'm so, so excited about it. Having that mindset shift into just going for it and trying it, and you know, we're gonna figure it out as we go, has been really, really helpful with just so many different things throughout my life that I really, really wish that I would have had this mindset shift and attitude change earlier in my life. My mom said, when I first was talking about this small business thing, and this is something that I know that I've mentioned here, I really, really feel like this is something that I truly hold close to my heart now because I think about it often. And she told me that you don't want to look back in a year, 2 years, 5, 10, 15 years down the line and look back and wonder, what if? What if I had started that small business back then? What if I had launched this product, right? Like, what if I had just gone and taken my kids somewhere by myself? What if I had just done this thing? Whatever it may be, right? But you don't want to look back and wonder, what if? Because you can't go back and make any changes. You just have to keep going forward and taking things as they come. Don't look back and wonder, what if? and just go for it. Start small if you're not ready to just go for the big things yet, and that's totally okay. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's not something that's going to be a quick change and shift. It's going to be a process, and it's going to be a journey in and of itself. So I think that is completely okay, and it's okay to be scared to just go for it. It's okay to be nervous to just go for it, because it's a whole completely different way of viewing things and approaching things that maybe you haven't been doing before. And so anything new is always going to be scary. But I find that a lot of the times the things that we are really, really nervous about and we just go for and do anyways tends to be things that will give us the most benefit, will give us the most growth, whether that be from learning something or from actually growing from whatever this experience might be. I'm very, very thankful that we have reached this point now, and that we have hit this shift in our perspectives, our attitude, what have you. And I'm really, really excited to see what is to come. Because I'm telling you guys, I am planning on things and I am working on things that I never in a million years would have done before this. And I'm really, really excited to go for them and try them out. And I'm really excited to continue to see where I can take myself with my small business and with my motherhood journey, because I've already made such huge leaps and bounds from just a few years ago to now that it's just crazy to me that if I continue this mindset, if I continue this perspective on things, then who knows where I could be in the next year, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, what have you, down the line. And I'm just really, really excited to see how that turns out, see how that goes. All right, let's see, we are almost done. This is all that we have left. So let's see if we can finish this out real quick before we end this video. Alright y'all, so that's going to be it for this week's Momprenuer Diaries. I hope that you guys enjoyed chatting about this. It's something that I've been kind of thinking about quite a bit recently, and wanted to just bring it up with you guys and see what y'all's thoughts were. So speaking of, let me know down in the comments what are some things that you guys have maybe either currently are or were before nervous or scared to go forward with and try and do and just go for it. And then what are some things that maybe you have just gone for it and done it, and how did it go? How did it turn out? Regardless, I want you to know that if you're still in the stage of being nervous and afraid to just go for it and do for it, again, I want you to know that that is totally valid, and it is totally okay to feel those things. And I would just want to be here as your support and your encouragement to go for it and take small steps towards doing the thing. And then for those of you guys who already have, and when you guys do the thing, I want you guys to know that I am so, so proud of you guys for doing it, because I know that it was not easy. I know that it was hard, but you did it and you made it. So I'm so, so excited for you guys, and I can't wait to see what you guys are doing or striving to do, and where you guys are trying to go and grow. If you guys enjoyed this video, I would ask that you please give this video a big thumbs up. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. It helps out me and my channel so, so much. If you enjoyed this content and you want to see more motherhood, small business, and behind the scenes kind of things, then be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you'll be notified anytime I upload my future videos. Alright, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye y'all. I forgot to show you how the pen turned out. So cute. So I love how it turned out. Clicky. The glue is still drying, obviously, but I think it turned out really, really cute. So, super excited for these. I'm hoping that others will love this too. Alright, Now I will see you guys in the next one.